I'm Andrew Sherman. I'm a Texas transplant who has always been in pursuit of art as a career. I've played in bands, pursued an acting career in Hollywood, but I found it behind the lens of a camera here in Dallas, Texas. I was born in New York. I've lived in Chicago, Los Angeles, Austin, but I love Dallas. There's a magical artistic scene in Dallas that mostly goes unnoticed to the outside world. This podcast is focused on what makes it so special and the people who make it thrive artistically. If you don't live here, and even if you do, you might not have heard of them. This is the Dallas Famous Podcast.
So who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're all grown up? Who you gonna be? Who you gonna be when you're over us? Yeah.
Almost as long as she's been speaking, Remy Reilly has been singing. She was scatting at age 2, playing open mics at 12 and gigging at 15. Remy is turning 20 this month and she is coming into her own. Remy shares her unique experience growing up on stage and talks about the guy she's been working with, Midnight 30. Remy has great energy and I know you'll enjoy this one. Here it is. Okay, we are here with the lovely Remy Reilly.
Hello, hello, hello.
How you doing? So you're a singer-songwriter.
Yes.
We start all of these with your Texan.
Yeah.
Okay, and Dallas, DFW?
Yes, I've been in Dallas ever since I was brought home from the hospital.
Oh.
Born and raised. Born in Plano and started my music here in Dallas.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I've known you for a while. I know a lot about you, and I also know that you've, talked to people about yourself. So I might repeat some stuff, but there's a lot of people that haven't heard, so that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So I think I read that you started playing when you were 2 or singing when you were 2.
Yes. Although I don't recall singing when I was 2, my parents say that every time I was in the bathtub, I was belting out. Even actually, my parents noticed that I was scatting at a really young age in the tub.
Really?
And because I love jazz. So I was always trying to mimic scatting.
That it wasn't because you didn't have enough words in your vocabulary yet, or is both?
I don't know. Maybe it was a mix of both things because my mom used to play I'm a scat man in my house. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So I would always be doing that. And then I do remember singing as a young child, but I would never sing in front of anyone. I was like, no, that is for in my room when I'm alone only.
Right.
And I never would sing for anyone until my mom got me voice lessons at 11, and that's when I started gigging.
But you were singing in your room the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Like making up songs?
Yes. I was writing the whole time. I just never told anyone about it.
Oh, my gosh.
I have, notebooks in my room of my first songs, and they're pretty ridiculous, but...
What were you writing about?
Well, my first song, I always like to tell people this because it is absolutely so hilarious, I was 5 years old. And it's called What's Wrong With Me. And I'm actually thinking about bringing it back and rewriting it and being like, oh, I started this song when I was 5. And people will laugh and be like, oh, yeah, right. No, I actually did. It's on paper. There's a date and everything.
Wow.
And it is about a man who is saying, what is wrong with me? Why can't I have this woman? It is from a man's perspective, and I'm 5 years old. What is up with that?
Where did that come from?
I have no idea. And I told my mom, I was like, oh, it's just TV. I was watching TV. But it still amazes me at this day and age. What was 5-year-old me doing from a man's perspective, asking what is wrong with me? Why can't I have a beautiful woman?
Right. There's so many levels of
There's
that.
so many levels it's not clicking. What?
Past life regression or coming out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm like, was my past life in me? Was I a man? I don't know.
Yeah. Wild. Okay. Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were doing this, were you starting to learn instruments at this point too?
No, I didn't learn instruments until I was 11.
So we started getting the
drums.
lessons.
Yes.
Oh, the drums.
Yes.
Was first.
Drums were first.
I don't think I've seen you play drums.
Really?
Oh, I guess I have. No, I've seen you percussion.
Maybe a cajon. I've never played drum set ever.
Oh, okay. So
stage.
it's okay, yeah.
Maybe once in band.
That's probably why I didn't see it then.
Yeah.
But I do remember now with the cajon back in the day.
Yes, that was all I had, and my little cowbell that I had.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Well, we'll get ahead to the backing band, but we got way more stuff before that. And I have this little cheat sheet because I do. Started with drums, and then how soon before you transitioned to piano? Was that your next one?
Yes.
Okay.
How soon? I was 14 when I started piano lessons.
Okay.
But I was messing around with the piano way before that. Like, my brother had brought home this little keyboard, and he was like, I'm going to learn piano. I'm going to be a pianist. And I was like, oh, cool. 3 days later, it was out of his room, and he's like, I give up. It's really hard. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Can I take it then? And he was like, sure. So I took it, and I learned piano, and that's when I wrote Rattlesnake. That was I wrote 26 and then Rattlesnake, but those were the first, like, my first EP was basically written on that piano.
Wow.
Yeah, all of them were.
When did you start actually doing like open mics and performing in front of people, like with like, you know, a keyboard or something?
12 or 11.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I had my first, I don't know, in Denton, LSA Burger. They used to do an open mic, and there was also a bar that is no longer there called Audacity. And they had open mics, and I would rotate between the two. One was on Monday, one was on Thursdays. I did that every week.
Wow.
From the ages like 13 to 15. I was doing them every week, just trying to get gigs, trying to get in with everyone and just meeting.
Is that when you came to Arco for the open mic around
yes,
that time?
That was the same age as that. I was doing only open mics because, like, no one was going to pay me for anything at 14. Like, they were like, ugh. I would get all the bars would be like, what is this little girl? And then I would sing for them, and they would be like, okay, maybe we can put you on the schedule somewhere. I don't know. But come during the day because you're a little kid.
Right. I mean, at 12, 14, I mean, like, at what point did you have like a 30, 45-minute set?
I think I would have been at least 15 by the time I had an actual set down together. I remember being so worried. I was like, how could anyone put together a 30-minute set? That's so long. And then now I'm like, I do 3-hour sets all the time.
I know.
And it's like
crazy.
nothing. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I remember you doing a show, like a full show by yourself in front of the art wall one time.
Yes.
That might have been one of your first full length. I don't know.
It might have been.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And so it's so funny too. Like I didn't get that part of your story until I looked it up, and you're talking about how you just were like, I'm not singing for anybody, and now you're like a performer.
Yeah.
But I guess that makes sense. I mean,
I was really young.
Yeah. You know, people are self-conscious.
Oh yeah. I was a strange kid. Not saying anything has changed.
As a strange kid.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like, so you're in school, obviously, when you start this, and you're like, what did your friends think? Was it cool? Were you weird because you were playing shows? Like, were you just the music chick, or like, how did that?
You know, I really didn't get a lot of hate for it. As I thought I would. Like, a lot of people were really supportive. A lot of people from my high school and middle school would come to my shows, and they'd ask me all the time, hey, how's music going? I've never once gotten any like negative things. I mean, I'm sure there were a few times where someone said some like snarky thing behind my back or something.
Well, yeah, but that's cool.
That's gonna happen.
That's cool that you got support. I mean, maybe it's just because it's positive music, and you're not out to like, I don't know, you're not out to prove anything, you're just expressing yourself.
No,
basically.
and teachers would come too. Like, my teacher was at my gig this Saturday. That I don't even like, it was my video game design teacher. Like, that's crazy to me. I'm like, like, that's so cool. Like, everybody was so supportive, and I would bring my guitar to school also every day. Oh. Because I was in this kind of choir-like glee club. But no, I would walk around with my guitar and start whipping it out and playing in the middle of class when we would have free time, and I would play for people, and they'd just sit around me.
It's pretty cool.
It was kind of cool. It calmed people down because, you know, we're all anxious little teens in school.
Right.
And I was like, let's all sing something, and I would let people play my guitar, and we would all just like, you know, hang out. It was positive.
Very cool. I mean, at this point, were you going, I'm going to be a musician, or were you like, no, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to study this, I'm going to do that, or was there other career choices you were thinking about, or is it just clear?
I always knew since I was 14, I was like, yeah, this is probably all I have going for myself. And that's like, I mean that in the best way possible. Like, I figured out this year for sure. I mean, I tried to do one semester in college this year or last year. Oh my gosh, has it been that long? I'm getting old.
What do you like for the record? You're 20 now?
I'm going to be 20 this month.
Oh, you're going to be 20. You're
Yes.
19. Okay.
I'm about to be 20. It's
Wow.
kind of insane.
Wow. Are you thinking ahead to 21? Do you have like a plan for that, like a show or a party or something?
No, I don't, but I have a show every year on my birthday, so it'll probably be a show.
Right.
I most definitely guarantee you it will be a show, and every bandmate and everybody's going to try to get me so drunk,
Oh,
and I'm going to be
sure.
like, no, I'm
Yeah.
on business. I would never do that.
Yeah. Like the night after when you're not playing, you might have a drink for the first time.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. It's not something you even care about either way.
Not that it would be the first time.
Okay. You're not with breaking news. right now.
Breaking news. No.
I wish you were on video because you just did a break dance move with breaking news. which
Breaking news.
I've never seen anyone do that. That's great. I don't know why I like that so much. Okay, we're skipping around. Who are some of the people that were influencing you, like either personally or like musicians, like famous people? Like what were you feeding off of, like when you started writing, I guess, and until now?
Well, the first band that I ever my earliest memory of obsessing over a band was Fits and the Tantrums in 6th grade. But when I was in 7th grade, 13 years old, my dad had these boxes of CDs. My dad has a ton of CDs because he's a music promoter, so he had bring home all these promotional items, and he would have CDs laying around everywhere, and I had a CD player. I still do. I'm still a CD girl. I don't care what anyone says. And it was the CD called Better Strange by James Supercave, and it was in the back of our Jeep. And I had a CD player TV in the Jeep in the back seat, and I put it in, and when I tell you, when I put those headphones on and I press play, my mouth dropped. And my life was changed forever.
Wow.
So I've been a fan of James Supercave, and they're putting out an album this month as well, and it's like, I like to think it's my birthday present. But I've been so inspired by their writing and everything ever since I was 13. I'm obsessed. I don't think I will fangirl harder in my life for a band than James Supercave.
Okay.
Like, they are one of my main influences.
Interesting. And is it a female singer or a male singer?
Male singer.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I love male singers with really high-pitched voices.
Okay.
And he's got quite the range for a male.
You can cover that. That's like kind of your range.
Oh, yeah.
Too, right?
Yeah, I cover it all the time without people knowing. Sometimes whenever I'm at gigs where people aren't listening, I'll cover them because, like no one really, knows. And then they'll come up to me and be like, hey, what was that? And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you asked. And then I'll go on my tangent about it. Like, is that even a word, tangent?
Yeah.
Is it a word?
You use it right, too, as well.
Cool. Awesome. I'm kind of blonde, so.
You're doing great. And it's more strawberry blonde, I feel like, so. Okay, so I know that you did work at Modern Electric with Jason Burt. Like, you've done some stuff with Sarah Jaffe. Like, talk about like some of your favorite collaborations that you've done. Maybe something else even.
Yeah, I actually just recorded at Modern Electric last month.
Okay.
I just recorded 3 new songs with John Pedigo.
Yes.
And it's going to be so cool. We just actually recorded, last week, we recorded horns on one of the songs. So there's going to be saxophone and trumpet, trombone. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved working with Jason Burt and Sarah. Sarah and I have this, we have similar, strangeness to us. She's a lot of fun to work with, and she taught me so much about, studio vocals. I learned so much by working with Sarah, and Matt Pence is who produced those.
Yes.
I am in the studio, but when I'm in the studio, the older I get, the more inquisitive I am about things. I'm like, oh, why are you choosing to use this mic? Or why do you want me to sing it this way? Or what are you doing on the computer? Because, I'm trying to get into production myself.
Okay.
So now it's I used to just be sitting there and watching everything and not know what to say, but now it's just questions. And
Right.
I'm always telling producers, I'm so sorry in advance, but I will be asking you what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's refreshing. I mean, it's I feel like it would inspire them even more because they're probably used to people that are I'm just so involved in so many, just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Yeah, that's how I was. I would just be sitting there okay, I'll do whatever you guys want. But now I'm no, we're going to do this my way.
Yeah.
And I want my sound to sound like this.
Yeah. Well, you're growing up. I mean,
yes.
and you're discovering, yeah, it's interesting. It's fun watching you because I feel like I was there at the beginning.
You were.
You know?
And it's interesting for me also developing as an artist as a child and growing into an adult.
Yeah.
When you grow into your own voice, not even like vocally, but like your voice, like your opinions.
Sure.
Like, I know what I want, and it's like I never knew what I wanted, and now I'm like, I know what I want, and that's kind of cool. It's like, finally.
And I'm sure that's like affecting the the lyrics and the subject matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you writing about now? Like, obviously not
Everything.
Are you still like being men in certain moments in the songs, like you did at 5? Or
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like going from anyone's perspective. It's kind of cool writing from different perspectives also, because you will reach more people. They'll be like, you went through that? And I'm like, no. I have a song about domestic violence. I've never been through that. I've seen it, but I've never been through it personally.
Sure.
But I wrote it from the perspective like I did.
Yeah.
So, like Johnny Cash, everyone always makes that. Talk about killing someone.
Mm-hmm.
He probably never killed someone. Well,
I mean,
we don't know.
Yeah.
He probably didn't.
He probably didn't. Probably didn't. But yeah, that's cool. So you now have a backing band, which are now called Midnight 30.
Yes.
So how did that come about?
Zane King.
Yes.
Yeah. Zane. I love Zane.
Yes.
He, I didn't have a band for a while. I was going through just hired guns, you could say.
Yeah.
Was going through people, never had like a stable band. And I was like, man, I really need people that can be ready to go with me. So I mentioned it to Zane, and I'm also great friends with his wife, Amber. So we were talking about it one day, and he goes, I have these guys I want you to meet. So he sent them to my house, and we had one jam session, and I was like, these are the dudes.
Yeah.
Like, they're so funny, and they're all my older brothers. And they've been with me for 2 years now.
2 years, wow.
And I just love them so much. They're family now.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest thing.
They're another band that they were, I think, in Fort Worth, and they came to the open mic at Art Co, and everyone's like, you're just part of this scene now.
Yeah.
Because they're that much, they're fun. It's funny, John Figueroa, whose birthday is today.
Yeah.
Funny. And Zane's birthday was yesterday,
Oh
actually.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Happy birthday to all
Happy
of our
birthday,
friends.
y'all.
He reminds me more than anyone else of a young Jerry Garcia. And his playing, but also his quirkiness and his inquisitiveness. I love that dude. He's just so, he's just himself. Anyway, you guys, it's a perfect marriage.
He just has, we're all so strange and funny, and it's a great mix.
How much of it is you just bringing them songs and them doing their thing, or how much are you doing together? Is there both going on?
It's both. I will just, if I have a song already recorded, I'll show it to them and they'll play the parts. They'll learn it. Mm-hmm. But if I come to them and I'm like, hey, this song is not recorded. You guys do what you want to do on it. Mm-hmm. That is how my song Yes Man was recorded. It's all of them that wrote those pieces. I just wrote the chords and the melody and the lyrics, and I was like, you guys write the music for it. Mm-hmm. So they did that, and I think that's really cool, as well as my new single Dirty Work that it's going to be coming out probably the soonest, or maybe Yes Man will. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, they're both coming out
but
soon.
they're both coming out soon.
Okay,
so
cool.
Sure.
We will update that in when this comes out. So from an outside perspective, from my perspective, I'm like, you're this, you're a beautiful young woman with positive energy. Why are you not huge? What are the struggles? I mean, I know the basic struggles, but it just seems I remember we were at the Epic, and it was a councilwoman, she had to introduce you because she loves you, and then you're like, oh yeah, and this mayor likes me.
It's really hard, period. Music is really hard. I have, I've been told all the time, just keep going, because if you give up, someone else will take that spot. Mm-hmm. And you just have to keep going, because there is an audience for you, and everybody's path is different. And I believe in that. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I will never stop. I don't, success is different for everyone too.
That's my next question.
Oh, yes.
What does success look like for you?
Success is different for everyone.
Yeah.
If I could be on the road the rest of my life, playing shows, even just in bars, I'll be a happy woman, because there is nothing I love more than traveling on the road and then ending my night meeting a bunch of people, just sharing my music and talking with people and learning and just expanding my mind that way. That is my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah, totally.
So if I could just keep doing that, and if something really big happens, that's amazing. But if you're doing this to become some big thing, you have the wrong idea.
Yeah. Okay.
to begin with.
Well, it's healthy and true.
Yeah.
But I do agree with one thing. I know that there's an audience that's out there that when they find you, they're really like, oh,
Yeah.
damn. Okay. This girl. Is there anyone that you would love to work with besides your crush band?
My crush band.
Could be famous, could be local.
Oh, I really want to work with Julia Jacqueline.
Mm.
She's an artist from Australia, but this woman, I swear, she reads my mind. Like, every time I listen to one of her songs, I'm like, oh my God, I feel that way. Like, she writes about similar topics that I do. And it's like every time I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I want to write with you. Like, I feel like that woman has been through similar situations, and I'm like, I want to interview her. Not only just where I'm like, I want to know about what. Come here. What? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Like,
I mean, that you could probably find a publication and do that. Actually,
they're right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna have this leaf blower guy. I'm gonna have to at least say once that there's a leaf blower guy, because I'm gonna cut a lot of this out. But I'm gonna say that there's a leaf blower guy, and we're almost done with this interview. I have like one question left, and he's standing right outside our window. So
Remix.
I mean, now it
Wow,
sounds
he's
like-
getting louder.
Yeah, and the reason that we came here was I was gonna do it in the front room, which was like, this room was full of boxes 2 days ago, but the front room, we saw they were doing construction next door, so we're like, oh, we can't do that. But
The irony of life.
I know. So I know you just released, was it Avalanche that just came out?
What Do You Know just came out.
What? Okay. And then what's coming up next for you?
Next will be Dirty Work, and I'm also filming a music video for that. I'm really excited because it's like my first actual real production music video.
Nice.
It's not just me and my dad trying to do something.
All right, that's cool.
Which is, it'll be really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
not that the stuff me and my dad is bad. Like, it's pretty
No,
cool.
I get it. It's professional. It's like you're gonna have like
Yeah, but I'm gonna have a real videographer doing this.
Your dad just gonna do behind the scenes shots for this one.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
absolutely, he will. I expect nothing more. Yeah, I'm that, and then there's also Yes Man. We got some horns on there, and then there is a really cool song called Half Price Books that I recorded as well.
Oh, nice. Oh, I was gonna ask you. I know we're coming to the end, but you do a lot of cool covers.
Oh yeah.
Like what are some, like, do you just get suggestions, just songs you love so much you have to do them? Like, how do you come about choosing those?
Probably I get suggestions, but most of them are just stuff that I really like admire. Like, I just covered, or I posted a cover of Mazzy Star's Quiet the Winter Harbor. I just love that song. It's so sad. And like everyone, I also cover Fade Into You. Like, who doesn't?
I mean,
Everybody covers that one, but I was like, I need to do a different Mazzy song because like everybody does Fade Into You.
Sure.
So I was like, let's do this one too.
yeah.
But no, I a lot of these are just stuff that I like, but also you have to put in some crowd pleasers in there. Definitely.
Yeah, it's good. You do some classic female singers really well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you gotta do some things that people know.
Yeah, and you're just playing all the time, and people just have to look at your schedule because it's probably is that right? Or you're...
Yeah. I have a website where all my shows are posted as well.
Cool.
If I don't have them directly updated on my socials, it's usually there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have links to all of that.
Cool.
Remy, thanks for being my first guest in my new place.
Well,
And
thank you for having
yeah.
me. Such a beautiful home.
Thank you. So look out for Remy, and we'll see y'all next time. I'd like to thank Remy Reilly for joining me today. You can check her stuff out. She's playing around, and you should definitely go see her live. Theme song, Unstoppable by Salim Nourallah. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, follow, all the good stuff, and share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.